Hi, I'm Adam from Referral Factory. Referred customers convert better than customers from paid ads, and they stay longer because they arrive already trusting you. Businesses with a strong referral program see about 20% more leads a year. So if you have tens of thousands of customers, an enterprise referral program should be one of the easiest decisions on your list. Why then do so few large companies run one properly? Not because anyone decided it was a bad idea, it's because at your size, a customer referral program is a channel you have to run, not a campaign you can launch. It needs a budget line, someone who owns it, and buy-in from teams who don't report to you. We've been building referral programs with enterprise companies for years, and the ones that get off the ground have something in common. Whoever pitched the idea had answers to these 4 questions before they walked into the room. 1. What counts as a successful referral and when you pay for it? 2. What you offer as a referral reward and what it costs to you. 3. How you promote it and which of your customer touchpoints carries the ask. And 4, what you're promising in revenue and why you should ask for a proof of concept. 1. What counts as a successful referral and when you pay for it? Good referral tracking holds 3 things together. Who made the referral, who was referred, and the moment your business decides that referral was worth paying for. Most people only think about the first 2. The third one is the decision you actually have to make. What counts as a successful referral? Many programs pay out when somebody clicks a referral link or signs up or becomes a lead. At your size, that means paying for a lot of names that never turn into anything. So tie the reward to something real, a first purchase, a funded account, a signed contract, whatever your business counts as a genuine customer. That's also what lets you prove the channel is working, because once you know which referrals became customers, you can compare what each of those customers cost you in rewards against what you normally pay to win one. There's a second reason to think hard about where you draw that line: referral fraud. The bigger you are, the more your reward is worth gaming. A payments company we work with used to pay out as soon as a referred business signed up. People spotted the gap, did the bare minimum, collected the reward, and disappeared. The fix was to move the qualification point. Now, nothing pays out until that business is genuinely trading, and there are checks before every payout. Your definition of a successful referral is also your fraud protection, and it's far easier to set now than to change once people are already earning rewards. This isn't something the marketing team settles on its own. You'll need sales in the room, because referred leads have to land in your CRM and somebody has to nurture them, and you'll need whoever looks after your customer data, because you need to know which system you trust when it tells you a deal has closed. And you'll need legal, because whatever you decide has to be written into your terms and conditions. And how you word the offer to customers is their call too. 2. What you offer as a referral reward and what it costs you. 2 decisions here, and your finance team cares about both. The first is what you give people and how the money reaches them. Cash, account credit, a gift card, something from your own product. That sounds like a marketing choice, but it's really a payments question, because you're about to send small payments to thousands of members of the public. Finance needs to approve how that works before you launch, not after. At your volume, you also want those payouts firing automatically against whatever you've defined as a successful referral, with a record of each one, because finance and your auditors will ask to see it. The second is what the reward costs you, and how you present that cost matters as much as the number itself. Our founder, Kirsty Sharman, says this so often that I hear it in my sleep. A referral reward isn't really a marketing expense. It's a variable cost of acquiring a customer. So compare it to what you already pay to acquire one. If a referred customer costs you £50 in rewards and a customer from paid media costs you $300, you've changed the question in the room. It stops being whether you can afford this and starts being, why aren't you doing more of it? There's a second advantage to framing it that way. Your reward spend only grows when the program actually works, because nothing pays out until a real customer converts. That's much easier to take to a finance team than a large fixed budget request. 3. How you promote it and which of your customer touchpoints carries the ask. The ask is simply the moment you invite a customer to refer someone. Where you put it decides whether the program produces anything, and most people leave that until after launch. Don't. Put it in the strategy. Start by writing down every point at which your business talks to a customer. Then pick the moments just after something good has happened, because that's when people say yes. The end of onboarding, a renewal, a support problem that was solved properly. The strongest programs never rely on a single launch email. The ask lives in the customer portal. It lives in your lifecycle emails, on a poster with a scan to join QR code, and in what your support team says when they've just made somebody really happy. A quarterly email to your whole customer base is a good start. It isn't the strategy. And this is where your technical team comes in. That might be your IT team, it might be an agency that looks after your website, or you might have a whole engineering department. If you're working with IT, it might be coding a block into your newsletter template. If it's the agency, it might be putting a widget on your website. If you have engineers and you sell online, it might be building the ask into the product itself, so customers see it when they log in. Each of those is a small job. What makes it expensive is when every design change afterward has to go back to that team. Good referral software doesn't just track referrals, it helps you promote the program with widgets your team can customize themselves, and referral portals that already look like your brand. The point is to reduce your dependency on technical teams, so when marketing wants to change something later, they can just do it. 4. What you're promising in revenue and why you should ask for a proof of concept. This is the pitch itself, and it only works if you've done the thinking in the last 3. Before Referral Factory existed, Kirsty spent years going into large companies that were stuck on growth, and she kept finding the same thing. A business with a big customer base is sitting on an obvious channel nobody has switched on. That's precisely why she built the software. When she needed a program approved, she'd ask one question. Would you like 20% more leads next year than you got this year? 20% is what our own data supports for a business that keeps promoting its program. But don't leave it as a percentage, because a percentage is easy to nod along to and then forget. Take your average lead value, hold your current conversion rate steady, and turn it into a revenue figure. The revenue figure is the one people remember. Then be careful what you actually ask for. Don't ask for approval to launch across the whole business. That's a big ask with a lot of unknowns attached, and it invites everybody in the room to find a reason to wait. Ask for sign-off on a proof of concept instead. One segment, a few thousand customers, a fixed period of time. Decide up front what result would count as a success, so nobody can move the goalposts afterwards. A pilot that size is small enough that nobody's core business is at risk, which is what your colleagues in legal, sales, and finance are actually worried about. And when it works, you aren't asking anyone to back an idea anymore. You're showing them something that already happened with numbers attached. And you aren't only promising more leads, you're promising better ones that stay longer. That's a retention argument as well as an acquisition one, and it belongs in the pitch too. So to recap, 4 answers to have ready before you pitch this. What counts as a successful referral and when you pay for it? What you offer as a referral reward and what it costs you? How you promote it and which of your customer touchpoints carries the ask? And what you're promising in revenue with a proof of concept as the thing you actually ask for. Get those 4 questions right and the meeting changes. You're not the person asking permission to try something. You're the person who has already thought it through. And when somebody asks the hard question, you'll have an answer. Referral Factory is customer referral software built by marketers and built for enterprise businesses. Kirsty built it because she was the one in those meetings trying to get a referral program approved. So it's designed around what a marketing team actually needs to run one. It connects to the CRM you already run through native integrations, an API and webhooks. It handles the tracking, the reward payouts and the fraud checks. And it keeps everything on your own domain and under your own brand. It's also built to get through your security review. We hold a SOC 2 Type 2 report covering the platform itself, not only the infrastructure it runs on. And your security team will know the difference. We're ISO 27001 certified, we support single sign-on, and on our enterprise plan you can host your own data on your own infrastructure, so your customers' details never leave your business. If you're working through those 4 questions, the quickest way through them is to talk to someone who has done it before. Book a call with our team at referral-factory.com and we'll go through what a proof of concept would look like on your numbers. See you in the next one.